Depression, a mental condition characterized by feelings of severe despondency and dejection, typically also with feelings of inadequacy and guilt, often accompanied by lack of energy and disturbance of appetite and sleep. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast. Episode 1: Depression. Joeliathin and Canyon Manning. I was dumped by someone that I fell so incredibly deep in love with, and it's been so hard to live without her. My deepest desire in life is to be loved, and I felt like I was on cloud 9 because I knew that I was always loved by her, no matter what circumstance I was going through. But when she left, so did that love. It's like having that special something that is always by your side, that shoulder you can cry on, that rock that keeps you grounded, that person that will tell you everything is okay, even when it seems like things are falling apart, was just taken away, and I was left all alone. I have a lot of friends and family that have been comforting me, but it just isn't the same as the love that she provided me with. I have struggled to get out of bed in the morning because the weight of the world just weighs me down, and I struggle to fall asleep at night because all my dreams are about her. I can't go a single day without having her on my mind, and it torments me because I know that she will move on and be fine, while I just waste away.
Loneliness is one of the worst feelings in the world. Being alone causes the mind to wander. I spend most of my time in my head, thinking. Sometimes I have good thoughts and fond memories, but other times I question myself. I wonder if I'm good enough, if I have worth. Even when I'm surrounded by people that love me, I'm unable to feel it. How can I accept something so beautiful when I am the opposite, both inside and out? How can I love when I hate myself?
My name is Joeliathin, and I am with,
Canyon Mandan.
and this is the first episode of our podcast.
Yes.
Today we are focusing on how depression can affect multiple areas of your life. And the first thing we'd like to start off with is how depression can affect your school life. So depression for me, it affects my school life by demotivating me and making me feel like I can't actually do all the stuff that I normally would be able to do. Specifically with homework, I feel like I can't get all of my homework done. Especially when it piles up from multiple classes, I feel lost and I don't know where to start, so I end up not starting at all. A huge factor is because I just can't focus.
Yeah. I feel like part of the not focusing is you can have trouble sleeping or being restless at night, so you can be really tired the next day.
Yeah, that definitely happens for me because when I first uh when I first started feeling depressed, I think I developed insomnia, so I have a very hard time falling asleep. And another thing that is a part of that is I also developed sleep paralysis, which when I go to sleep, and then right when I wake up, I can't move at all, and that keeps me in fear of going to sleep in general. So I usually never want to actually go to sleep.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It's definitely a huge part of why I can't focus on things, because I'm so tired. And
Yeah.
in school, especially with certain classes that are more work heavy, I can't focus because I have other thoughts on my mind that will distract me from the thing I'm supposed to be learning. And just how I really cared for the person that was in my life but isn't anymore, and then thoughts of that will invade me, and things like they're doing better than me and they're fine without me, and like all those thoughts, they really get to me, and I just feel like demotivated and distracted, so I can't do anything that's actually being assigned.
Yeah, I feel that a lot. It can definitely like be hard to stay motivated when you're feeling really down because like you're just kind of stuck there and
Hmm.
like it you know it's important to like do the things like the homework and like study, but it just seems like so hard and just thinking about like doing it just seems so exhausting.
It's like a huge mountain that you have to climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, 100% I
Yeah,
feel
I'll
that.
be like sitting and I'll just be thinking like, oh, I have to do like that like homework,
Hmm.
but it takes me like 2 hours to work up like the motivation to like just grab my textbooks and like start studying. But
Oh yeah.
just thinking about it like gives me anxiety and it feels like it's
Well,
gonna be super exhausting.
winter break has been very good for that area of my life specifically because I haven't actually had to focus on a lot of schoolwork. Although there are other things such as scholarships, university applications. Just thinking of those things
Yeah.
really brings down my mental because I know I need to start on these things, but I know that I don't have the motivation to start on it. Like I can't. I will
Mm.
sit and stare at my computer screen and look at the tabs I have bookmarked, knowing you need to send your transcript, you need to self-report your grades, you need to start writing some essays, and I'm just like, oh, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mind definitely wanders way too much when I'm actually tasked with something. So like I've tried to use distraction methods to keep me from feeling so sad. Um, but with school and all that stuff, it's kind of hard to be distracted because if you're sitting in a classroom with nothing but a teacher's voice and writing, like your mind's gonna wander.
Yeah.
Especially at our age, we're very like curious about a lot of things, and that can lead to wandering thoughts. For me specifically, like I think a lot about past memories of the person that I was like really in love with, and that um, it makes me smile a lot, like thinking of it. But I know that like those times are gone, and then like that really hurts my heart, and it makes my stomach like go into knots. And then for the rest of the day, I feel like really uh upset and distracted and just like I can't do this.
Yeah. Losing someone is I think one of the biggest causes of like depression, but I think like it's good to remember the good times.
Hmm. I
I
definitely
mean, you'll definitely like feel lost and sad, but you have to remember like it's better that it happened than
hmm
like it never happened, and you have to like
yeah.
cherish the good stuff and the bad stuff. Because if
I
there's no bad stuff, there's gonna be no good stuff.
I do cherish the good times. It's just like
Yeah,
I wish that I could still have those good times and all that like, and then another main thought that I've been having recently is that the person is better off without me, and that they're happier without me, and their life is going fine, where mine is very downhill. And of course, like I don't know anything that is happening, and I can't make these assumptions. But it's just the depression, like in my mind, tells me a lot of negative thoughts. Do you have like negative voices in your head?
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
so I get a lot of negative voices just saying, um, specifically at this moment, they're like, I'm not good enough. I didn't deserve her. I made all the mistakes. This happened because of me. Um, and those things in particular have just been plaguing my conscience. And I know when I go back to school, it's definitely going to play on my mind a lot there as well. Especially when I'm trying to focus. I'm really worried for a retest I have coming up. And I know I should be studying. It's just so hard to get the motivation to study because when I do, these negative voices come into my head. Speaking more on the personal side of depression, to get my mind off these like negative things, I've been doing a lot of distracting. such as watching YouTube, Twitch streams, those kind of things, just to keep the voices at bay, um, and to keep the negative thoughts out of my mind. I feel like distractions have been working pretty well for me, but recently, um, I feel like it's just not enough, you know? Like when I'm watching, before I could watch YouTube for a long time and it would keep the thoughts out of my mind. But now, like, I'm watching and then I'll see something that will remind me of a specific time and then it sends me spiraling. So I've actually started, like, watching YouTube or a Twitch VOD and then playing games as well while I'm doing that. So I can't think of anything else. I feel like that's the only thing that keeps my conscience clear of bad things.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good to have something like keep your mind busy, like, but
Distractions
like,
and stuff.
well, I wouldn't say distractions, but like things that you do that like keep you busy
Mm-hmm.
and like so you stay like productive in a way.
Yeah.
Like even just like watching like a TV series and like getting through like episodes and like following the storyline can like make you feel more productive rather than doing nothing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that you should take like the small victories and like kind of just start feeling better that way. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
Slow
really like to
progress.
watch like movies and like just focus on like the story and like the characters and it makes me feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm. An issue that I have is like when I'm watching a movie, I'm not good at focusing for one. Like I can't focus on a movie for throughout the whole time through, so I'm usually distracted. But if I am watching like a really good movie, I think I wish I was watching this with her. I wish we could be doing this together rather than me doing this on my own. Which is a lot of like a big reason why I try and stay clear of movies because one, they're so long, and two, it's just like something I used to do with her a lot. Um, but like I find other things that'll like I guess like you said, small victories that I take. I have like chores I need to do and that stuff. When I get my chores done, I feel good because I'm actually being productive, doing things that I'm supposed to be doing. And when I do actually work up the courage and the motivation to do something such as a university application, when I'm actually done with that, I feel really good about myself and like I actually was productive during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I finished sending my transcript to two different universities, which like I know it's not much, but for the rest of that day I felt I have accomplished something. Today was successful, which is a big thing with depression. I think you should keep on that track of doing the small things, even if it's just like one thing. You feel like you took a victory of that day, and you can mark that as a good day rather than a negative day,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is definitely important.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's not a lot of things we can do that would be small victories as of right now with winter break that we're on. Um, for me, I haven't had a lot of stuff to keep me busy that are like productive things, I guess. So I have to like getting out of the house is something that I try and do, but every day that I don't get out of the house, I feel like I've just wasted the day, and that inevitably leads to negative thoughts and stuff because I feel like a failure, you know?
Yeah. It's especially hard to like be productive and get out of the house like this past year with like everything that's been going on like
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
It can be hard and sometimes you just won't leave the house at all and I think that's affected a lot of people's mental health
Mm-hmm.
overall.
And transitioning into like COVID-19 and all that, I feel like that has actually led a lot of people to get depressed or to have at least some symptoms,
Effects.
you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think getting out of the house is very, very, very important for your mental health because you need to see all of the wonders of the world and how beautiful it is. Whereas now, I've kind of just, for me personally, I've been stuck in my room all day and all I see is my computer screen. And being on an electronic all day is really bad for, well, for my eyes, for my brain, for all of that stuff. I just feel really like drained at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like COVID has taken away so so much of what I could have done, which really
Yeah.
sucks. I feel very I don't I don't know. I just feel very unproductive, disappointed in myself for not doing the things that I said I would do this year.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people feel like that right now.
Mhm.
But like we gotta understand, like we're all like in the same boat, and like it
Mhm.
can you can feel really alone in times like this, but you have to remember that like we're all going through things.
Yeah, it's definitely important to lean on others. I've been trying my best to lean on my friends, whether like it be just to distract me by playing some games together, or whether it be to like have those deep conversations that will bring out what I'm feeling and um just let me vent, you know? Venting is a really big thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Just
if yeah,
yeah.
if you
Feeling like you've been heard is like really nice.
mhm.
And that can help a lot.
Whenever I vent, I definitely feel better. Um it's definitely better than suppressing my emotions, although I do a lot of suppressing. Like I try and not to focus on what is bringing me down, and I do a lot of denying as well. I try and say that that's not what's getting me down, it's this, but inevitably I know what is the leading cause of it. It's like feeling unloved, which I know I am, but it just seems like I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
But there's definitely people there for you if you need. It's definitely if you need it, it's definitely important to see someone to talk to a professional about it. Uh,
Yeah, if you're feeling like sad or you have symptoms of like depression or anxiety, I think you should definitely talk to like someone you care about, like a parent or a friend.
yeah, I do think there's things that are it's hard to express it to a stranger that you might not know. Like it's hard to tell them your life story and what's bringing you down all the time. Which is what another thing that I find hard to vent about, especially like as like who I am, it's hard to express emotion because not a lot of the people around me express emotion. Not a lot of my friends will express how they're feeling. So I, in turn, feel like I shouldn't do that either. I just feel like it's very hard to find people to vent to because of who I am and who my like surrounding cast is, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes if I don't have anyone to vent to, I'll just like write stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that helps.
Yeah,
Even
I've
just
been.
yeah, even just talking to like yourself can like be helpful sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've tried to express myself through song. I know you do that too. You write lyrics and stuff.
Hmm.
I write some just one-liners, two-liners, just which help me express how I'm feeling. But then like a lot of those pile up, and I feel like I have so many that I can't put them together, and then that eventually becomes something that I get anxious about, having so many different documents on my phone with so many different lyrics that I just can't focus on one thing at a time with that. It seems like a lot of the things I do to distract myself inevitably become something that adds on to the weight of my depression.
You have to kind of learn to like find things that you like, but like you don't take too seriously. Like
That you don't turn into like
yeah,
yeah, I know what you're saying. Like you don't turn it into a competition or a chore. Like gaming for me was my escape, and I played a lot of competitive games, but then eventually that started to like become taxing to my mental health, and now like I feel distracted when I'm playing those games, but I don't feel good about it. Like I feel really frustrated. I snap at my friends very easily because of small mistakes. It just these things that I once took joy in now bring me down.
yeah.
So it's
I
important
think
to not take those things too seriously. You should definitely treat it as a game and not a competition. Otherwise, it will affect your mental health.
I think that's like one of the biggest problems with like school is like you can like have a passion for something, and then
And then it
at like a
becomes
certain
drained.
age it becomes like a chore, something you have to do,
Hmm.
and then you kind of lose that like passion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely important to have with school, especially a teacher that is um really like passionate about the topic that they're teaching, so you can remain passionate about it. Like with
Mm-hmm.
biology, for I know for both of us, we were really interested in it because the teacher was so amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I was so passionate about biology until I took that class because it was fun. There was a lot of activities. I could stay engaged because the teacher was just so like then even the note packages we'd write down our notes on like from a PowerPoint. You have blanks to fill in, which I think is a really good way of learning because it keeps you engaged, forces your mind to stay in tune with what you're learning rather than taking your own notes.
Yeah.
So like my incident, I guess I would say, happened before, well, kind of during like the first week of school, but I didn't really start feeling it until now, and I think part of that could be because like the first few months of it, I was with like I was in good classes in school, which would help me feel like good with studying and stuff, and there wasn't like a heavy workload. But now it's worse because I'm in like a much harder class that is very demanding on my mental, so I have
Yeah.
to focus a whole lot more, which which brings me down. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
the situation you are in is definitely affected by certain things that you are doing. And of course, some of those things are necessary, like classes in school and all of that. But the things that aren't necessary, it's definitely important to take a break from them if they become too much of a chore or it starts affecting you as a person.
With depression, you have to find ways to like cope.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the biggest things to like get better is to find like things you enjoy or like just things that make you feel better.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if it's something you're passionate about. Like for me, like I don't know, like writing music or like exercise. That
Oh
can be
yeah.
really helpful to like kind of like devote yourself to one thing or and have that in your like daily routine.
Hmm.
It
I
can
found
make you
myself,
feel like more stable.
yeah, I find myself working out like daily to try and get my mind off certain things, and it's definitely good to like work out your anger or frustration. For me, I've always heard that the way to release stress is through crying or sweating it out. So I've been trying to work out a lot to try and sweat out the stress I'm feeling.
Yeah,
Um,
exercise is also good because it releases endorphins and it's really good both for your physical and mental health.
yeah, it definitely makes you feel productive that you've actually like accomplished something by working out, and I think
Hmm.
that's definitely a good way to cope with depression. Like we said, spending time outside is a very good thing to help cope with depression because you get to see like nature and the beauty of the world rather than being trapped in one place. So getting outside is another great way to cope with depression and those negative feelings.
Hmm.
I think some screen time can be good, but you definitely don't want to overdo it with watching or playing something.
Yeah, yeah. Watch like looking at a screen all day can be like really draining, and it can also affect like your sleep. Like
Hmm.
if you're looking at your screen before bed, it sometimes that will like
It makes it a lot harder to fall
yeah to
asleep
fall asleep.
because
Yeah.
your brain's going to be busy and it's like
Hmm.
actually I think focusing on things. Um, the last thing we want to talk about on this episode of the podcast is seeking professional help. If you feel like the weight of your depression is just too much and you can't handle it alone, then we advise you to get help from someone that can really give you the help that you deserve.
Yeah. Even if you're just feeling sad, just it's good to talk to someone that you trust, like a parent or a sibling or even a close friend.
Hmm.
And if it's like especially bad, you could talk to your parents about like seeing your like physician. And in some cases, like antidepressants can be actually really helpful.
Hmm. Very
And
beneficial.
personally, they helped me when I was going through a really tough time. So yeah,
Yeah, seek help from a professional if you really need it.
it can be scary, but getting help or just even talking to someone can be
It's
really beneficial, and it just helps you a lot.
it's better
And
in
it
the
can
long
be
run.
it can be scary, especially if you have anxiety. But
Know that they're there to help you, and they won't judge you for anything that you have to say. With that being said, we thank you all for watching the first episode of our podcast. We hope to do more, and we hope that this was insightful, um, and that we taught you something new. Goodbye.